I have come back to my old house today in North London, and this is the house that I wrote Roots in. I moved here in January 2017 and wrote Roots less than a month later, actually. And Roots is very much about this house and how I didn't want to move back home, and I was like so in love with music and being here and like doing my job full time, and I wanted to like take that step from being a pub singer into an artist, but I wanted to do that part of it full time. So I moved in with my friend Janet, who was also on the same management as me, and we were just kind of doing the artist thing full time. And it was like a month after I moved in here that I wrote Roots. It felt like a pretty creative house, like both of us being singer-songwriters and just having the freedom to write whenever and know that we wouldn't be annoying each other if we're playing the piano at 2 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, Janet was at management and I was working from home that day, and I had my piano set up right here, and I kind of don't remember it in a way, because I feel like it was one of those songs that fell out of me. Like, I'm sure it took me about 30 to 45 minutes to write Roots. Very much when I write now, I always have either a song title or a concept in mind, and I just kind of adapt around that. But when I used to write by myself, like 4 years ago, I would always sit at the piano and think of chords first, and then just like spill out whatever came out of my mouth, and I would make sense of the lyrics afterwards. And I just remember coming up with, and I lingered on that for so long. I just played it on loop and loop and loop, and I'm pretty sure I came up with the chorus first, which is the oh let me love you until we're old. Oh let me love you until we grow old. And they're literally the two chords that are in the song is just a C and the F sus2, if we're being technical. I've never really written a chorus that felt so euphoric and open to interpretation, and something that I was really, really proud of, because with all of my other songs I'd be like, yeah, I wrote a song but I'm not the best songwriter, and this one I felt like, okay, this is something that this was like a new level achieved for me, I thought. And I remember sending it to manager Rick from my little Logic session, and he was like, yeah, it's all right. And I'm pretty sure I've still got the email where he was like, yeah, it's okay. And he came back to the house after dropping Janet off, and I was like, no, you need to listen to this song. And I sat and played it in this room and was like, ignore the bounce that I sent you, like just listen to it. And that's when we were like, yeah, no, this is good.
I thought I came back way more positive than
No,
that.
you didn't.
I thought I said...
You find that email, you were like, yeah, it's okay, it needs some shifting around.
I said way nicer things than that. I'm going to dig that out and prove it to you. Did I just say love this? I'm sure I said love this. I'm sure I said love this.
You might have said love this, but it needs some shifting around. And I know why you said that, because I didn't have a first chorus. I went straight from the first verse into the second verse. First verse pre, second verse, and I missed out that chorus. So you should have a writing credit. I think when I wrote that chorus, I still wasn't sure what it was going to be about. Like, I really did just used to say any lyric that came out of my mouth and then look at the words on paper and go, okay, what is that about? And with Roots, that chorus was so like open to anything. And I just had to kind of sit myself down and go like, what is it that you love at the moment? What's making you happy? And it was like weirdly this house and just being here in general. And that's kind of where the verse came in, like, I don't want to leave this town. I don't want to be back where I started from, because my roots, like where I came from, like it's not doing anything for me anymore. and I was just so excited at this idea of like being in London every day and, you know, writing all the time and producing music and potentially releasing music and just being that full-time artist that I'd always wanted to be. And although there's many of, I'm not going to say ex-boyfriends because they're not boyfriends, but just boys of my past that like to think this song is about them, and apologies, but it's not. It's about house. Ta-da! Production was something that I always imagined and I always could hear where I wanted it to go, but I didn't have the means at the time to do that. And that's kind of how the backing track I used for my first audition on X Factor happened. I wrote this song 7th of Feb 2017. I planned to release it independently before I went on X Factor, and this song has basically changed my life in a way. Like, it's what I auditioned with, it's what I would have released had I won. I sang it in the final with Paloma Faith, which still baffles me that ever happened, and why I didn't expect people to relate to this song has been incredible to watch. It's done things that I didn't think that it would. I signed to Psycho straight after the show and released my first EP with them in June 2020, and that EP was supposed to set up this song, and we'd signed off the budget, the label had signed off the budget, and you know, production was starting to release Roots in September 2020, and my label shut down in August, which just meant that, you know, music was going to stop and I was going to be independent for a while. And I think just getting used to that obviously put a spanner in the works in that Roots couldn't be released in September. But it also meant that I get to release this song on my own terms and independent, which is what I was when I wrote it, how I planned to release it in 2017 before all of that happened. So it feels nice to be doing it under my own hat.
Roots, written here, 7th of Feb 2017, by moi. Stream it. When did you make this?
I didn't make it.
You didn't make it?
I didn't make it.
Who made it?
Cat made it.
Cat made it? Manager Cat made it. When? Like... You know what that is?
What is it? I don't know what that is.
Do you know what that is?
Kaden.